this is personally important to me to address this, okay? Ask anyone who knows me. They'll tell you. I don't believe in belittling people, belittling anyone for who they are, for what they believe, or where they're from.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Liberal Expression. Now, I'm sure by now you've learned this week how CNN's Don Lemon insults people that he doesn't agree with.
Donald Trump couldn't find Ukraine on a map if you had the letter U and a picture of an actual physical crane next to it. He knows that this is, an administration defined by ignorance of the world. And so that's partly him playing to their base and playing to their audience, the credulous boomer Rube demo that backs Donald Trump. That wants to think that Donald Trump's the smart one, and y'all elitists are dumb.
You elitists with your geography and your maps and your spelling, even though
your math and your reading.
Yeah, you're reading,
But like other times in Don's life, he felt he could put his finger on exactly why people were upset and take a deep breath and explain himself.
One of my guests said something that made me laugh. And while in the moment, I found that joke humorous. And I didn't catch everything that was said. Just to make this perfectly clear, I was laughing at the joke and not at any group of people.
Oh, you see, he didn't mean anything. Don's show is just like the rest of CNN's reporting.
And I didn't catch everything that was said.
Of course, they only seem to catch and report what Democrats have to say. And repeat it, and repeat it, and repeat it ad nauseum.
It's a cover-up. That's what the Senate has now done. They have covered up what the President of the United States has done.
Oh yeah, so upset with Lamar Alexander not wanting additional testimony in the Senate impeachment trial. Just like the rest of the leftist media were upset about the lack of Senate testimony during the Clinton impeachment trial. Oh wait, no, that was completely different.
You never called any witnesses in the House. Why are you insisting on witnesses in the Senate?
A trial without witnesses is not a trial, full stop.
But can you see why a number of people, and not necessarily people that are supporters of the president, would watch and listen to the managers saying, you need witnesses, you need witnesses.
You need the witnesses.
We need witnesses.
We should hear from the witnesses.
And say to themselves, you know what? This is now getting purely political.
We don't have trials without witnesses.
I've never heard of a trial without witnesses.
But senators don't really want any more witnesses.
But here's why we need witnesses.
Why go through all this business about witnesses? Why not just get it done?
This is Exhibit A for why we need a real trial in the Senate with real facts, real documents, and real witnesses.
But if you have witnesses, it's going to add months to this thing.
We will have a real trial with real evidence and real witnesses.
What's the point of going on with this process if you know the outcome in advance?
The leftist media just have such trouble with the past. I mean, even when they use it for fear-mongering. This week, they actually compared the GOP handling of the impeachment trial to racist laws that were implemented by Democrats.
I have to say, as somebody who grew up with a father who grew up in the Jim Crow South and in the Jim Crow Detroit, a lot of what this has looked like from the Republican side, the kind of imagining and the farcical nature of this, the lack of good faith argument sounds very familiar to me, and it's actually quite scary. I think we're at a very scary moment.
I think you just spoke for metric tons of our viewers watching tonight after the day we've been through.
Brian Williams and his metric tons of viewers. Is he trying to fat shame the 3 people that are watching? Well, as I'm recording this, the Senate is yet to vote on having more testimony, but it certainly doesn't look likely. And MSNBC is melting down completely. So it is now tinfoil hat time. They're warning, if Trump is acquitted, voting will be shut down in California. And this is no longer a hypothetical.
Imagine Donald Trump deciding sometime in June, well, I heard this conspiracy theory that a whole lot of illegal immigrants voted in California. So I've decided that during the presidential election, California has to undergo extreme vetting because we can't trust their votes. We're going to shut down voting in a state. This is literally the kind of thing he will do now. We're not talking hypotheticals anymore.
Yes, actually you are. But perhaps they don't understand the word hypothetical or the word literally.
We are at a moment of unimaginable peril. I was just saying to Chris that I'm thinking of, say, the 200 people who Trump hates most, many of which come through this building a lot of the time, none of whom are safe if Trump is reelected. And I mean literally safe.
You're safe. Literally. Don't let your imagination get away with you.
And it's easy for me to imagine, I first started saying this in 2016 and people laughed at me, it's easy for me to imagine that this show can't happen after Trump is reelected. I mean, all you need to do is look at what happens in countries run by autocratic leaders, and all of that is very, very likely to happen if Trump is reelected.
Those autocratic countries, they hate those networks that push big government control to the masses. But luckily, MSNBC continued to avoid their hypotheticals, and they boiled the impeachment issue all down to the meat of it. And the question is Trump Darth Vader or just a bad stormtrooper?
Wait, is he Darth Vader or is he like the worst stormtrooper?
But this is, to me, that's why what the precedent being set matters so much.
Those intellectual debates worth having, only on MSNBC. Here's something that there is no debate about. If you want this Broadcast Truth t-shirt, you need to head to the MRC-store.com and check out all the conservative goodies that are for sale. Also, please check out MRCTV.org for lots of other great videos. View us on YouTube and Facebook, like and subscribe. Feel free to share. I'm Eric Shiner, and literally, not hypothetically, I'll see you soon with more leftist media wackiness.